Harper One and Harper Audio present Bold Move, a 3-step plan to transform anxiety into power by Dr. Luana Marques. This is the author. To my loves, David and Diego, you keep me anchored through the choppy waters of life. Introduction. Am I enough? There's a huge irony in my writing a book about being bold. Perhaps an irony that only I can appreciate. When I told my friends I was writing a book about tools that allow people to live boldly, they exclaimed excitedly, "This book must be written because it defines you." The irony is that although most of my close friends and colleagues will describe me as capital B, bold, I have often felt, and still do feel, scared, anxious, and vulnerable when faced with significant challenges. As an adult, I know that these fears are partly a product of my childhood in Brazil, where so much of my emotional energy was spent trying to keep my parents together, doing whatever I could to minimize the fighting and the arguments and maintain the illusion that the world, my world, was safe. Yet, I felt as if I had failed big time. My father left us when I was 10 years old, and that was the end of any sense of stability and certainty. In retrospect, my father leaving was a blessing in disguise. But I never met any 10-year-old who gleefully said to herself, "Yeah, my parents are divorced. My mom has to work all the time to feed us. And no matter how hard she tries, at times, we end up sharing a single potato for dinner." And so, as a young girl, what I actually said to myself was, "I'm not enough." Not those words exactly, but when I look back on that period of my life now, as an adult and a clinician, I know that would be the rough psychological translation. I did all I could to try to prove that I was enough. Should I do the dishes? Study harder? Protect my sister? Watch out for my mom? The anxious thoughts and feelings were endless. No matter how hard I tried, I often felt so overwhelmed that I would eat my emotions in a form of a big bag of cookies, which ultimately left me feeling like a failure. To make matters worse, when my mom caught me with said cookies, she would invariably put me on a diet, further proving to me that I was indeed not enough. It was a vicious cycle. In retrospect, I realized that she was concerned about my health, much as I am for my own son's health today. But then, it hurts when someone's way of telling you that they love you is to take away your cookies. At the time, I was hurt and confused. Why was she taking away the only thing that made me feel better in that moment? But, as is always the case, both my mom and I were doing the best we could with the tools we had at that time. Unfortunately, the toolkit we shared was rudimentary. Fortunately for you, the tools I'm about to share are more sophisticated, and are supported by hundreds of scientific studies and lessons.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?